Hi guys, and welcome back to the podcast. How are you all doing? I hope everyone's good. I thought I'd change the scenery a little bit. I thought I'd experiment a little bit about these podcasts. And as today is quite a slow day, it's normally my Wednesday, I decided to actually go out for a walk and bring my camera along with me to a spot where I come probably multiple times a week and enjoy myself and get out nature and just reflect, and sometimes it's good. Right now there's a dog barking across the lake as like an absolute nutter. Unfortunately it's not Chester, but yeah, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. If you're watching this on YouTube, enjoy the scenery. Quite quiet. If you're on the podcast listening to, thank you for listening and supporting. So 2024 has probably been a year already has kicked off with a bang. It went quite slow this start of it, and there was quite a lot. I got worries. I didn't really know what direction I wanted to go, and slowly coming to the end of this month, I've slowly now found a bit more passion and some direction, and everything is slowly going in the right direction. Sounded a bit windy, that did, but all is good. I'm positive. The one thing I sat around with quite a few of my friends and other people is try to help one person each day. I love to coach, I love to create, and I need to personally do a lot more of that. I personally think coach more and also create and deliver more. So that's why I got inspired today to come out to here. There is a lot of dogs barking and everything like that. Oh, this dog is just literally lakeside. But today's podcast is all about, I've got some Q&A questions from a couple of my clients and a couple of people. I put my stories the other day, which I really appreciate because it really helps, people enjoy this stuff. So just going through my stories, if my stories would pick up, that would be fantastic. So the first question I got is, what supplements do you recommend? And what should you do after? What should you eat after training? So first supplement I recommend as a beginner. I think this is person as a beginner in advance. Comes to the gym probably plus a year, 1 year, 2 years, and just goes there 3 times a week. The one thing I would say is multivitamin. A multivitamin, especially it's January. Multivitamin will help you stay ill-free, especially where there's colds, coughs, illnesses in the workplace, children coming home from school and stuff like that. Is a good one to bring in. Another supplement I would say is vitamin D. As we are in England, vitamin D isn't the best place to get enough sunlight and everything like that. Hopefully this plane is not too bad on the light, but should be all right. So vitamin D, taking vitamin D, just boosting up that, is because if we are working in an office 9 till 5, we probably won't get the sunlight that we wanted. Another supplement I'd say, if you lack in trying to get enough protein in your diet, is a whey protein or an isolate protein or a pea protein. That's just going to help you feel, if you're lacking in protein and you can't eat a lot of meat or good quality sources, that is always a good source to have. A protein shake if you're lacking in protein intake and struggling to get it in. And the last one I would say is a good fish oil, on omega-3. Personally, if you, like myself, I take omega-3. I don't really eat a lot of fish. I only really have salmon or prawns. I don't really eat tuna. But having a good omega-3 will help you feel great and give your body a supplement that needs. They're the 4 supplements that you probably really, really need. There isn't really, like, coffee isn't a supplement. Well, I would say it's a supplement, but coffee is a good one, pre-workout. But then you don't need to buy all these fat burners, pills, teas, all the rest of the bullshit that people try and sell you just for a quick buck, and they haven't actually read in it or they don't use it. What should I eat after training? I personally think it's a great question. What I should eat after training? That's a great question. So if you have a big window after training, you've just done a massive session, 60 minutes, I personally say is trying to have a well-nutrition balanced meal. It's got a good source of protein, it's got a good source of carbs, and a little bit of fat. If you can't, if you're rushing on time, I personally would say is maybe trying to replace your recovery by having a protein shake or something that's very quite small carbs, so a banana or cereal bar or a yogurt, just to tie you over for the next 45 minutes, hour. That's what's going to help you feel better and not go for a little bit of a slump after the training. If you have a really heavy carb meal, more than likely you'll just feel awful, or you'll have that tired, and like if you've done a morning session, you're going to feel really tired. So there's something to look into there. Okay, that's what I would do personally. What is the best cardio when the cardio you want is busy? I personally say is try and change it up. Changing things up is always exciting. If you do treadmill and do the steps and the stairs and all the time, maybe it's time to actually change it up and actually try something new. Maybe a conditioning circuit. You're still, end of the day, you're moving. If the goal is with the cardio is to get fitter and get more calories out, maybe trying it up. Maybe do an actual circuit. You might burn more calories and might get your heart rate up in a high intensity. That's always quite a good one to try. And yeah, personally, that's what I think. Oh, it's very windy out here, so I don't know if the mic's going to be great, but we work on it. The next question I've got is about mindset. I think this is just, there's a couple of questions on mindset. I'm going to reword these questions a little bit for it. So mindset, personally, is a big topic to cover. So I'd say the best way to change your mindset for January, that's probably a good one. So personally, right now, it's all about, with January, it's new changes. I want to lose 5 stone. I want to do this. I want to run a half marathon. I want to be able to toast a bar, or whatever the challenge is. I think everyone these days goes super big. And personally, maybe it's good to actually bring back our goals a little bit and just think it's not about removing habits all the time. We can add habits in. The one thing why goals change and we get better at a lot of these things is consistency. If we can be consistent on quite a lot of these things, end of the day, our goals will change. We'll be a better person. But if we have to remove everything in a diet or a training to lose such and such, and we get bored of it very quickly, we're not going to be consistent. And that's what is going to fail. And you're probably going to feel rubbish about yourself because you didn't do it. So the first mindset I'd say for this January is, if you failed already, you've got you've got 11 more months to change. Secondly, think about adding to your habits, not changing, not removing, add into your habits. That's what's going to actually change you from improving each time and then getting better in yourself. That's the first question I would say. The next mindset question I'd say, because there's loads, it's a big topic, is how to be consistent. That's probably a lot of people, how we all fail. How to be consistent in 2024, because oh my God, last year, I would say I wasn't consistent. So let's set one goal each month to do. It could be actually just going to the gym twice a week, or eating less processed foods, or even just drinking 3 liters of water. When we try and do these things, a lot of things change. And if we do it every single day for, as the people say, the golden rule is 21 days, things change. Things be consistent. If I said to you, you've got to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day for the next 21 days, the first week would be awful. You would be lacking on sleep and you would feel awful. But that week 2, it would change, because you know you got to be up at 5. Your body's getting used to it and changing again. When we say about, wow, we've got to change our diet, we've got to change our training and stuff like that to shock the body, a lot of the time it's a lot of rubbish. What you want to do is just stay consistent and just do one thing each day. If you write a list, what I normally do is write a list in the morning that has 5 different tasks to do. you go from, I've got weigh myself, drink 3 litres a day, make sure 2 of my meals are home cooked. The next one is making sure I'm prepped ahead of the day. And then the last one is making sure either I work out or a rest day or just move. There are a lot of the targets that I normally use. And on my phone, I've got like a little reminder. I just tick it off. And a lot of the time, we just need to add them small wins. And that's what creates that big win. So try that out, I would say, personally, for being consistent. And then the last one, let's just keep it quite short because I think I'm running out on juice on my phone. And it's really cold still and everything else. But I hope this is going to be nice and short and sweet so you can listen to the car. And I'll come back next week. Is a nutrition one because I think a lot it's a nutrition one from one of my dear clients. And it is about tracking and being flexible diet. So personally, nutrition is a huge subject to touch. And I personally love it as sit down and you can go many, many different ways. One diet doesn't fit all people, but it's the principle of the rule of the diet. A calorie deficit you'll always burn the calories. Being in a calorie deficit, if you burn more and eat less, you're going to lose weight. Okay? End of the day, that's simple. If you think of any diet, every diet works, but you've just got to eat less calories and burn more. That's how you're going to lose weight. All right? Keep it simple like that. Very, very simple. So what I'm going to say is, this person is about tracking, and what I like to coach my clients as on a scale. So when that person comes to me and they go through a scale of where their knowledge is and information is. So if they first go, I never tracked my calories before, say tracking your calories in the middle, I would make sure portion control or balanced meals, so 3 meals a day is a guideline to start with. And if the person doesn't have the understanding of that or struggles with that, I would go okay, here's portion control from hand size, what you need to look into. If we keep doing that and then educate the person to go through, it gets a good way. But we're talking about tracking here. And the question was, I struggle with tracking. What could I do? So personally right now, I would say reverse back to having 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and having a good source of protein, carbs, and fats. Keep it quite simple, okay? A lot of coaches these days, I don't know if it's going to pick up on wind, but a lot of coaches these days, they make their clients cook 28 meals, different recipes, and you've got to go to Sainsbury's or Tesco's or Waitrose on a Saturday or Sunday to get all these ingredients thinking, God, I've got to cook up a storm this week. If you keep it simple to like 3 meals for breakfast, 3 meals for lunch, and 3 meals for dinner, you can rotate through. It's the easiest way to keep it simple, and you can pick through them. If you understand that you've got a training day and you've got high carbs that you need to go for, perfect. I would personally add carbs into that, get a high carb meal. But rotating through a lot of these meals, that will help you stay accountable and consistent. And it also takes away the stress, because a lot of the time we go from 3 different meals, which is careful. What, mate? But yeah, personally, I would stick with 3 meals for breakfast, 3 meals for lunch, and 3 meals for dinner. It's the best way to actually see consistency, and just pick through 4 of them. That's what's going to keep you accountable through the weight loss journey that you're having, but then also see the results. I hope today's podcast was really good. Thought I'd change it up out here. Maybe go somewhere else that's a bit quiet and not loads of dogs and people. But yeah, we're good. We're moving. It's January. Today's date is the 24th of Jan. It's Wednesday. And something I want to leave a note on this is, what I want to do more is document and tell stories. I keep saying that every time I get on the camera, I try the camera out. I want to improve every time I put that on and just try and give it a go. End of the day, look at YouTubers, look at everyone. You just got to try get better each time, 1%. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon.